Okay, here's my audience. 6 people. Hello. All right, imagine a world where people suffering from PTSD, depression, and chronic anxiety could find true relief, true healing for themselves mentally. Not just treating the symptoms and suppressing them, but real, lasting healing. A world where veterans, trauma survivors, and those battling depression, anxiety, and other mental health disorders could break free from the constraints of conventional medicine and rediscover joy, purpose, and inner peace. This has been achieved for people through psychedelic-assisted therapy, and over the past 5 years, there have been multiple studies done on the benefits of psychedelic therapy and microdosing. That's why I'm here today to say it isn't just some radical idea to legalize psychedelics for medical use. It's a necessity for public mental health and the scientific advancement of treatments. Let's start by acknowledging the reality of the mental health crisis all over the world. And if you deny it, then respectfully, you are delusional. This is a grim statistic, but according to the World Health Organization, 750,000 people take their own life every single year. That is 750,000 too many. And for years, we've put mental health below everything else. We, as a society, have told people with depression to do happy things. We've treated our veterans with PTSD like crap and continue to downplay mental health like it isn't as important as every aspect of the rest of our body. Now this isn't an attack on all you listening. I'm simply commenting on my research and my experience with mental health. And I firmly believe that we need to take the next step as a society and improve our therapy methods. Now, let's talk about just microdosing psychedelics. This is when a person takes a very small amount of hallucinogen, often psilocybin, otherwise known as mushrooms, that doesn't impair their cognitive function. According to Medical News Today, evidence from mostly small observational studies suggests that microdosing psilocybin, the psychoactive component in hallucinogenic mushrooms, can improve cognitive function and alleviate symptoms of depression and anxiety. In agreement with this data, a large study now shows that individuals who microdose psilocybin showed improved mood and a greater decline in anxiety, depression, and stress over a 1-month period than those who did not microdose. And then here's my picture of mushrooms. Additionally, in these studies, it was notable that these improvements in mood and mental health were also observed in individuals with pre-existing mental health concerns. And these are just some of the observed benefits of microdosing regularly. Another interesting topic along the lines of microdosing is lion's mane, which is a non-psychoactive, non-hallucinogenic strain of mushroom that has been proven to help rebuild neurons in the brain and help executive function of the brain. This could be especially beneficial to someone who has ADD or ADHD, and according to attitude.mag.com, more and more people with ADHD have started to substitute the traditional medication, which is Adderall, for either lion's mane or microdosing psilocybin. And many experts say that small amounts of psilocybin have similar effects as a tablet of Adderall. But at the same time, there's also a very limited amount of data right now, and only a number of studies have been done because of the legality of psychedelics. But despite that, their legalization, not only for medical use, but for recreational use, is something I firmly believe in. The USA represents freedom, and yet the government doesn't always seem to make it clear to us that we have free will. And I don't think the government has any business telling someone what they should or shouldn't put into their body, relatively speaking, of course. Hallucinogens have been on Earth way longer than any of us have, and they will be long after we're gone. The U.S. Forest Service states that multiple native tribes use psychedelics to this day. Additionally, not only did they just use them, they used them to connect with the divine and heal themselves. There are other accounts of tribes using psychedelics and hallucinogens to treat different things, So once again, this isn't a new idea that these plants can have mental health benefits. Now, I'm not saying that you should just be able to go buy it on every corner gas station. I think there should be a process to legalize it, similar to what's happening with marijuana right now. And I know this might be a controversial topic and viewed as radical or out there, but this is exactly why I'm trying to make the strongest case possible, because I know it will benefit our society in the long run. Now, let's talk about psychedelic-assisted therapy. According to the PTSD government website, psychedelics can decrease amygdala reactivity when processing emotional memories or situations, which may actually reverse the very heightened amygdala reactivity typically seen in PTSD patients. Therefore, this would increase their ability to process those traumatic memories, which trigger flashbacks and other PTSD symptoms. Now, psilocybin specifically increases emotional empathy, acceptance, and connectedness while reducing avoidance of feelings. All of these effects would not only facilitate, but could cure the worst parts of PTSD. The U.S. government website continues by stating, alongside sessions of supportive psychotherapy, psilocybin administration may help people with PTSD tolerate challenging emotions and address the traumas that they have experienced. Therefore, opens them up to looking for and finding new perspectives on unhelpful or negative thoughts. And there's a lot of evidence to support this. Recently, a unit of U.S. Special Forces veterans received a psychoactive compound naturally found in the pineal gland of the brain called DMT. They received this treatment at a psychedelic clinical program in Mexico. There was substantial improvement in PTSD symptoms and suicidal thoughts from the veterans after the program. And all this data is from a U.S. government website. But as strongly as I believe that this is best for society, and as I said earlier, we don't have the means right now due to the laws in our country. Psychedelics are currently legal in 3 states, California, Oregon, and Washington. But at the federal level, they are still a Schedule I drug, which puts them in the same class as fentanyl and heroin. And frankly, I think that's ridiculous. The evidence that we do have supports that at the very least, legalizing medicinal psychedelics will improve our society's quality of life. And you don't have to personally partake in this. You still retain your right to refuse to not use them if you choose. And even if you think it's bad or don't believe in it, it wouldn't even affect your life. But to be frank, it's not really about you. It's about the veteran that has flashbacks and can't sleep at night. It's about the teenager struggling with depression, questioning his own existence. It's about us moving forward as a society and taking the next step as a human race. Thank you.